Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Kelvin here. So let's say if we don't have any life savings, maybe because we spend it all on Starbucks and Pao Cha, which is not healthy, or maybe because we YOLO all our money into crypto and lost it during the crash. Whatever it is, we don't have our life savings now. The question is, can we eventually rely on our CPF payouts to pay for our retirement? Because after all, that's the whole purpose of our CPF money, right? You know, other than just gathering dust and interest for 40 years, the purpose of our CPF is to pay for our retirement. And it would be a shame if it turns out that our CPF money is actually not enough at all. So that's what I'm going to look into today, whether our CPF payment is enough for our retirement. But before I start, I would greatly appreciate it if you can help to tap the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. In return, I will show you a koala bear. Alright, let's start right now. To know whether our CPF money is enough or not, let's first understand how much we need for retirement. Is it 几百万? Okay, obviously it depends from person to person. Like for me, I know that I can survive on just 1k per month, not factoring inflation of course. But for someone who wants a super atas retirement life, like eat nice meal every day, live in a condo, have 3 maids, grab here, grab there every day, then maybe he will need at least 3k per month. But let's take a look at what the data says, because you know, statistics. The first data is from CPF themselves. In 2021, if you achieve the basic retirement sum, you will have a monthly payout of about $770, which according to CPF is sufficient for basic living expenses during retirement. The second data comes from a study done in 2019 between several Singapore institutes titled What Older People Need in Singapore. They found that single elderlies will need $1,379 for monthly expenses, while couple elderlies will need $2,351 or $1,175.50 per pax. Third data comes from Department of Statistics Singapore, titled Household Expenditure Survey 2017-2018. They found that non-working person aged 65 and older will need $1,154 for monthly expenses, with the average household expenditure among retiree households at $1,967 or $983.50 per pax. So after adding all of this up, we can say that we will need around $770 to $1,175 to have a decent retirement. But let's not forget inflation, which will eat up our money. Prior to 2020, Singapore's inflation was between 0 to 1%, but now it's around 5%. So after adding in a 5% inflation, we will need around $808 to $1,233 for retirement. Now, as I said earlier, this number is just what the data says. It can be very different depending on your situation. For example, from the What Older People Need in Singapore study, the researchers are just factoring in a simple lifestyle. Like you will notice for food expenses, it's mostly home cooked food and hawker food. There's very little budget for restaurant food. Then for traveling around, it's just normal public transport. Even expenses for leisure activities like recreation and entertainment and holiday expenses are very minimal. If you need a helper, or you want to travel around the world, or you live in a condo with expensive maintenance fees, or if you touch wood, have some illness, then of course you will need a lot more money. Let me share a quick message from this video's sponsor, Weibo. This month, Weibo has further improved their sign-up bonus to $130 of free Tesla shares. To qualify, you just need to deposit at least 2,000 SGD into Weibo, make one buy trade on either US stocks or US ETFs within 30 days, make another buy trade on US options within the same 30 days, then maintain the 2,000 SGD balance for 30 days, and you will receive your free $130 Tesla shares. So if you are interested, you can sign up with my link down below. With that being said, let's get back to the video. Now, just in case you don't know yet, the thing that allows all this to work is something called CPF Life. Basically, CPF Life is a retirement plan which pays out money to you every month, like magic. And yes, it's a lifetime payout. So if you live till 1000 years old, you will still receive payouts. Your payout amount will depend on how much money you have in your CPF retirement account. So for example, if you have a basic retirement sum which was 93k in 2021, you can expect to receive $770 every month. But if you have the enhanced retirement sum or 279k in your retirement account, you will receive $2,080 every month. Also, depending on which payout plan you have chosen, your payout amount will be different. So that's the simple explanation for CPF Life. I won't talk too much about that in this video. But if you want me to explain about CPF Life in depth, just comment down below and let me know. Anyway, remember that earlier on, we came to the conclusion that most people can live off just $1,233. So if you are planning to live off CPF payouts, you will need to at least meet the full retirement sum, which is 192k in 2022. But you will just keep going up every year because, you know, inflation. Very recently, CPF released their annual report for 2021, and in that report, they showed the CPF balance across different age groups. However, the chart is super hard to understand. Like, I catch no balls when trying to understand it. Luckily, Sydney has done all the hard work to come up with the median CPF balance, which makes it much more digestible. Okay, here are a few things I noticed. First, people who are below 30 years old have less than 60k in their CPF balance. So they are nowhere near the 192k full retirement sum. But people who are between 35 to 60 years old actually have enough money in their CPF to meet the full retirement sum. After that, people who are above 65 can't meet the required amount. Just by looking at these data, I'm actually quite optimistic that most people will be able to meet the full retirement sum and retire comfortably with a basic standard of living. Okay, let me show you why. According to MOM, the median salary in Singapore is $4,680, including employers' contribution. Maybe you don't believe the data and be like, sure not, my pay is only 2k leh. Yes, it depends on your job. This is just the median pay of all full-time employed residents, yeah? There was even a poll on Hardware Zone which found that most people earn more than $4,680. So if Hardware Zone says that, then it must be true. If we ignore employers' CPF contribution, the median salary is 4k. Let's put this into a table. Depending on your age, the total allocation rate will be different. For simplicity's sake, I will ignore the bonus 1 to 2% interest that we will earn on the first 60k. I can see that even if the retirement sum increases by 3.5% every year, I will actually meet the basic retirement sum by 40 years old. So all is good, right? Well, not quite, because I haven't factored in using CPF to pay for house down payment and monthly mortgage. According to a CPF report, at least 76% homeowners aged 50 and below are using CPF to pay for their housing loans. So let's factor that in too. Let's say I bought an HDB at 450k at Yishun. Oh sorry, not Yishun, that place is scary. Maybe at Tampines. After all the grants, I will need to pay around 400k. With the HDB loan, the down payment is 15% or 30k when divided between me and my wife. Then with the remaining 340k loan, 25-year lease, 2.6% interest, each person will have to pay $771. If I factor that in, then I will never reach full retirement sum by 65 years old. Now, of course, it's not all bad news. As I said earlier, this is only assuming that our pay will remain at 4k all our lives, which is impossible. Our pay will definitely go up when we are promoted or change jobs. With that being said, even though we can have a basic standard of living with just 1,200 monthly payout, it's still good to aim for a higher payout with enhanced retirement sum. We will never reach enhanced retirement sum. So how? Okay, here are two ways to fix this. The first way is to top up the CPF. Depending on your age, the amount that you can top up will be different. As an added bonus, if you top up 8k to either SA or RA, you will get additional tax relief. So that's nice. Another method is do a voluntary contribution to your CPF accounts. But just take note, if you do this, your money will be split between your CPF OA, SA or MA. The benefit of topping up to CPF is that you'll be able to earn an almost zero risk steady BP interest of 2.5% all the way to 6% depending on your age. Downside, your money gets locked up till old age, and touch wood, the government might even change CPF policy. Which brings me to the second way, invest yourself. And no, saying I don't know how to invest is not a good reason not to invest. If you really don't know how to invest, just invest in the S&P 500, which historically has given around 10% return annually. Otherwise, you can just use a robo-advisor like Endowus and Scythe to invest for you. For example, Endowus has given about 12% annualized return on their 100% equities portfolio. Short-term wise, the market can easily fall 20 to even 50%. But over the long term, the market should go up because stonks. So here are my thoughts. Yes, your CPF is actually enough to pay for your retirement, but only if you are not using it to pay for your house loan. And even so, the payout amount is just enough for a basic standard of living. If you want more than that, you will definitely have to do more than just depend on your employer's contribution, either by topping up CPF yourself or invest the money yourself. Anyway, that's all for today. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.